Now, I went over this a little bit yesterday, went over it some more with some traders this morning, and for those of you on the show, I want to make sure you don't miss out on it. And I talked about the synthetic advanced straddles. If this is your first NFP to trade on Nadex, I don't suggest it. If you've never done a straddle on Nadex, I don't suggest it, okay? The most volatile pairs on Nadex are the EuroCAD and the PoundCAD. But they're not on Nadex. Well, yeah, they are on Nadex, okay? You have to do them synthetically. And this is what I was going over with some traders this morning on the synthetics. I was saying, you know, for example, you can go and you can do what's called a natural. You can go in and buy the upper spread, or you can buy the Aussie yen, you can sell the Aussie yen, okay? By buying the Aussie dollar and buying the US yen, you can also do that. So there's more than one way to trade the Aussie yen. Why is that? Well, if you take yourself way back to school in algebra and you look at A over B times B over C equals A over C, because the B's cancel out. A over B, Aussie over dollar times B over C, dollar over yen equals Aussie over yen, because the B's, the dollars, cancel out. So still, why don't I just trade the Aussie yen? Well, you can. But what about if you want to trade the EuroCAD? Why does that matter? Well, because it's the most volatile pair. 100, 150 pips often. Okay, average move. Euro dollar times the dollar CAD cancels out the dollars and gives you a Euro CAD. Okay? And you go in and you buy the Euro dollar spread, upper spread. You buy the dollar CAD upper spread. That gives you a Euro CAD upper spread. And then you short the Euro dollar lower spread. You short the dollar CAD lower spread. That gives you a Euro CAD lower spread. So now that I've talked about it, I've walked you through it, let's look at doing it. What would that actually look like? Okay? So let me pull that up. How would you do this fun math? Now, again, this is really diving in the deep end of the pool. Don't let this be your first straddle, and don't let this be something that would intimidate you from trading straddles, okay? They don't have to be this complex. By the way, they have Aussie yen binaries, but they don't have Aussie yen spreads, okay? So this is how you could also make your Aussie yen spread if you wanted to. But if we go over here, and let's get rid of that. We already talked about the plan. And we take our little sheet up here. And we go, okay, well, what if we were going to, let's just try to find a straddle real quick. So to find a straddle, the easiest thing to do is put 1-to-1, put $100 max risk, and then let's just find a couple points that hopefully come together. Let's see. See if we can get a higher one than that there. That's a little better. That's even better. Okay. So 1.1150 on the buy side, 1.1150 on the swing on the sell side. There we go. There's our straddle. Okay. So on that straddle, you'd pay like $17 and all looks good. All right. So that's our upper and our lower spread on the dollar CAD. But what if we went in? And what's funny is if you're doing all these, you're actually still doing it anyway. You don't even know it. Let's go and look at the euro dollar. Let's see if we can find one that lines up. We do want ones with the same expiration time. There we go. So we got a 2680 and a 2680. Okay. So, all right, what do I do with that, Daryl? Right? Okay, we got next steps. So let's look at the euro dollar. Here's what we're doing. We're buying the euro dollar at, let me lay this out. I'm going to have to increase this a little bit. I'm trying to just break this down, help you wrap your mind around it. I don't expect you to just master this right here, but it's a cool lesson. I like to change it up and keep it interesting. 1.2680, and we got that, and we got, so that's our floor, 1.2780. All right, so we got that right there. Oh, this is our ceiling. Oh, this is our floor. Then our dollar CAD. We're going in and we're buying this at 1.1250. And below that, we got 1.1150. Okay? So, the upper spread is literally that number times that number and that number times that number. Yeah, that's not right. Got a minus in there. Times helps. There we go. Okay? So we basically got a 1.4377 to 1.4138. That is our spread that we just made. What did we buy it for? Well, we bought this one for 1.11. Oh, nope. Go here. We bought this one for 1.1160 on the dollar CAD, and we bought this one. That's the current bid, or sorry, that's the current offer price of the dollar CAD. The current offer price of the euro dollar is 1.2689. Okay? So that makes our offer price, entry price, 1.41609, which would make our potential risk on the trade over here to be 22 pips with a reward potential of 216 pips. Not a bad EuroCAD spread that we just put together. Okay? 22 pips on a 100 to 150 pip move. I like that. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be tomorrow. I'm just saying that would be what it would be like. That's how you do the math. Now let's go down here and let's do our lower one. Okay? On our lower one down here, bringing it on back, put in our ceiling, put in our floor. All right, so we're going to sell the 1.2680 by 1.2580. And we're going to sell the 1.1150 by 1.1050. And then we're going to buy the euro dollar one at 1.2670 and buy the dollar CAD one at 1.1146. And then what that would do for us right there is give us, we can just take these three numbers here, put them in there. That's letting us sell the 1.4382. Look at that, how that matches. Floor and ceiling of the lower spread. And that gives us a floor right there. And that gives us a short at 41.22, which, you know, this being risk, this being reward. And then risk and reward doing the same thing. Have to invert the formula a little bit. So we're going to go in here and say, okay, our risk is this number minus this number, so 22 pips. And the reward is the higher number minus the lower number. There we go. 162 pips. Still not bad. All right, we'll talk about this more when we get back. Stay right there. All right, folks, come on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. So I did a little bit of the math. I've been running through all the scenarios here while we had commercial break there. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the total risk, okay, plus the risk on the other side, less the price I sold at. That tells me how low it has to go. And that lets me know, okay, well, how far does it have to go from the, the middle strike there? And that seems a little shy of what it should be. Let me double check that. So we got the total risk plus the risk on the long side. Okay. And then we got to add that number. Oh, okay. So we got that number right there. But in this case, we need to make it a negative number. So times -1, because we got to, and then we going to surround that right there. And then we're going to subtract that from the short side. Come on. Oh, little formula error there. Okay, let's see if that works. I had basically 41.84, but not quite how I wanted to do it still. So let's just take, here we go. We'll do it this way. There's more than one way to skin this. We'll take the short side. This was much easier. Minus the total risk. Minus the risk on the other side. There we go. Okay, and then we'll take that Let's see, how far down did it have to move? We're going to move down from 41.38, 78 pips. Okay, so what this shows me is this trade right here, if I were to take it, I had to go in, and the steps I had to do is I had to get the euro-dollar ceiling and floor. I had to get the dollar-CAD ceiling and floor of the bought spreads, and then of the sold spreads. I just multiplied the ceiling times the ceiling on euro-dollar and dollar-CAD. I multiplied the floor times the floor on the dollar-CAD and euro-CAD on both of them. I put in the offer price on the bought side. I put on the bid price on the sold side. I got my EuroCAD spread 1.4378 to 1.4138. I got my EuroCAD spread that I'm selling 1.413 to 1.3901. Again, these are synthetic spreads by buying dollar CAD, buying EuroCAD, and then selling the lower euro, dollar, and dollar CAD. And then what that did is that gave my risk and my reward on both sides at a $39 total risk, $178 max reward on the upside, $182 max profit on the downside with the same risk on the combination total. If it moved up, for me to make a one-to-one, basically for me to put down $39 risk and make an additional $39, I needed it to move up 78 pips from where the euro CAD was currently sitting. And that means up to 1.4216 and down to 1.4060. Now, I'm not gonna know what the euro dollar, what the dollar CAD is gonna be, because it could be any combination. The euro dollar could be flying up, dollar CAD could be going down. I mean, they could be going in any combination. So I don't know what they're gonna be, so I can't just set my take profit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the EuroCAD chart. When the EuroCAD hits 1.4216, I'm going to be taking my profit on my longs, on both of my long EuroCAD and my long US CAD. Now, that's if it makes sense. Okay? If I'm up 78 pips, and let's say I'm up like 70-something on one, and, you know, let's say there's only like $5 risk on dollar CAD, like it's barely moved. There's no reason to take it off, you know? So let's see if there's some profit there or not. But as long as it makes sense, then we're going to take profit on both. We'll at least be taking profit on one of them. We may make more money if we only take profit on one. Then it flies back the other direction. Okay? I can make money on the other side as well. But 78 pips, when I expect a 100 to 150 pip move, that straddle makes complete sense. Now, I don't expect that to happen in the next hour. That's really cheap. It's probably going to be more expensive. But can I take profit within less than 100 to 150 pips? If I can, that's a great straddle. I like that straddle. So that's how you do a synthetic straddle. And there's like 13 different combinations of synthetic straddles you can do and iron condors you can do on Nadex. All right, y'all have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow on the Diagnostic Trading Hour.